خبرگزاری جمهوری اسلامی ایرنا پینوکیو ریستارت
I withdrew the United States from the horrible one-sided Iran nuclear deal, and look what happened to Iran. You know, when I took office, Iran was all over the place. They were taking over Syria, they were taking over Yemen, they were taking over everything. I actually said, this is going to be a problem, and we got to do something. And about 4 months ago, we withdrew from that horrible, ridiculous deal. And you take a look what's happening to Iran. There's riots all over the streets, all over the cities. It's a whole different ballgame. It's a whole different country. And it's looking real good. Looking real good. And we have recognized the capital of Israel and reopened the American embassy in Jerusalem.
We are only weeks away from President Trump's embargo on the Islamic Republic of Iran, which is expected to bring it to an end. And while the mainstream media continues to ignore the voice of the people of Iran, they continue to prop up the options of Reza Pahlavi and the Mujahideen. At InfoWars, we've been covering the Restart populist movement. We interviewed their leader, Seyed Mohamad Hosseini, and today we bring you their story, the story of the Restart populist movement. From our research, this is the story of the people of Iran, and they want freedom. Please share this with everyone. If you want freedom and if you value freedom of speech, then it is only right for us to honor and respect and support others who want the same. Thank you for watching. This is Greg Reese with Infowars.com. The majority of Iranians are Persian, and yet the Islamic Republic of Iran has outlawed Persian culture. By the threat of violence, the people of Iran are forced into hiding who they really are. Their true identity has been made illegal by their own government, a government that dictates barbaric laws and imposes tyranny upon the law-abiding people of Iran. Often described as the Mullah Mafia, the Islamic Republic of Iran does not rule by the will of the people. This Bantam cabal relies upon two powerful weapons to maintain its control. The first is the bank. The regime controls the bank. The banks work against the people, steal money from the people's savings, and support international Islamic terrorism. And their second weapon is the Basij. The Basij is an omnipresent force within Iran. It is run by the Sepah, the Islamic Revolutionary Guard. Its members are trained to monitor and intimidate the people. Boys are encouraged in every school to join the Basij at a very young age. They are lured in with the promise of knowledge, but all they learn to do is harass and betray their own people. There are many who grow out of the Basij when they reach adulthood, but when they quit, then they become the target of harassment, and some are emotionally broken for having betrayed their own people. It is tragic. But the greatest crime in the Islamic Republic of Iran, by any Western standard, is their enslavement of women. Under Islamic law, an Iranian woman is considered to be only worth half a human life. She cannot get married without her father's permission. She cannot take a job without the permission of her father or her husband. And if her husband beats her, then it is always her fault. Marriage in Persian culture is very similar to marriage in Christian culture. A man and a woman vow their love to each other. It is sacred and monogamous. But this is outlawed in the Islamic Republic, and it is replaced with Islamic law. In Islamic law, the man controls the woman, she is considered his creature, and he can be married to 4 creatures at once. An Iranian woman cannot choose her own husband. She cannot follow her own heart. And even if the husband beats them, they need his permission for a divorce. And if she can somehow get her divorce, which is rare, then she loses custody of her own children and receives no benefit. If you are a girl born into a middle-class family, then you will have some sense of security, but you must always wear a hijab. Even the female athletes of Iran must wear a hijab. And if you are a girl among the 80% of the population who are born in a poor family, then you will have neither financial nor sexual security. There are many tragic stories of poor families selling their daughters and wives into prostitution for just enough money to buy food. And the city of Mashhad has been turned into a brothel where the regime sells young Iranian girls to Iraqi tourists. Their culture is being destroyed. Young men are being turned into traitors, and the women are being turned into slaves. There is no freedom of speech in Iran. If you speak out against the government, you can be arrested, imprisoned, and tortured. The extraordinarily cruel ideology of the Islamic Republic has nearly broken an entire generation of the Iranian people. And this is precisely why Seyed Mohamad Hosseini, the leader of the Restart Iran movement, began rebuilding the spirit of his people. He posted a booklet online with instructions on personal health, strength training, and how to win a revolution. He taught them all to use aliases and to not be in groups of more than 2, so that if they were arrested and tortured, they wouldn't know anyone's name. And after having time to prepare themselves, they were issued a series of challenges. In May of 2017, Seyed Mohamad issued the Paintball Challenge. The people were instructed to mark government buildings as targets of the people by throwing paintballs at them and tagging them with spray paint. Next was the Noise Bomb Challenge. Restart was instructed to set off fireworks at 9 p.m. on June 6, 2017, as a call for freedom and a symbolic act to awaken the minds of the people. The Challenge of Wisdom called upon Iranian celebrities to discuss the problems of the regime, but not a single one of them replied. And so soon after came the Swearing Challenge, where Restart was challenged to speak their feelings harshly to members of the regime and its puppet celebrities on social media. The objective was to break their egos and show them that the people were aware of their crimes. In the Rock Challenge, the people wrote Restart on rocks and threw them through windows of government buildings to show the regime that we are many and we are everywhere. In October of 2017, Seyed Mohamad issued the Fire Challenge. The challenge was to burn down the Basij and the banks, but he also gave explicit instructions to not harm any living thing. And so while some of the fire challenges produced real damage, many of them amounted to a brave symbolic stand against tyranny. The Fire Challenge gave the people courage. After a lifetime of fearing the Islamic Republic, the people of Persia had rediscovered their birthright, freedom. The Fire Challenges spread and grew all the way into the Winter Uprising, when Seyed Mohamad Hosseini issued a threat to the Islamic Republic. He said that more than 30,000 Restart vendettas were already on the streets protecting the Iranian protesters, and many others were ready to join. He warned the Basij and Sepah to leave the millions of peaceful protesters alone. He gave them 48 hours to get off the streets and return home to protect their own families. Otherwise, he said, if you come to the streets to stand against your own people, then we will kill 120 of you. For 11 days, millions of Iranians took to the streets of cities all across the nation. And while it is estimated that 30 people were killed and hundreds were arrested, the uprisings ended with a promise of change. The people had overwhelmingly spoken. They were done with the mullah's mafia regime. After the uprising, the regime outlawed the teaching of English. They called on Interpol to arrest the Restart leader, Seyed Mohamad Hosseini. and members of Restart went to the rooftops to blow horns across the nation as a symbol of victory and good news. The people of Restart believe that because of her ability to give birth to another human being, the woman is closest to God. And they are no longer willing to tolerate the cruelty of Islamic rule. They want nothing short of freedom and independence. They want their culture restored. And they support President Trump's embargo, for they believe it will break the back of the mullahs and bring an end to the regime. Just last month, Restartee Mohamad walked 620 kilometers to the embassy of the Islamic Republic in Iran in Canberra, Australia, to say, "We don't want this regime anymore." He carried with him the Restart flag, the Israeli flag, and the American flag. And he risked his life by sacrificing his anonymity to speak out against the Islamic regime.
ما هیچ دشمنی با کشور آمریکا نداریم، هیچ دشمنی با کشور اسرائیل نداریم. اونا مثل دوستای ما، مثل برادرای ما میمونن. اینم پرچم کشور اسرائیله، اینم پرچم کشور آمریکاه. زمانی که من رسیدم به کمبرا به رسم یاد بود این دوتا پرچمو میخوام ببرم دم سفارتشون، سفارت اسرائیل و سفارت آمریکا، تحویل بهشون بدم. درخت محبت رو بکارم. خیلی مخلصیم، دوستتون دارم. بدرود.
ریستارتیش هموطن، ریستارتیش هموطن، ریستارتیش هموطن، ریستارتیش هموطن.
What are champions made of? Here's a man who can show you.
Triple 825-33139, 888-253-3139, 888-253-3139 is the InfoWars Store hotline. 888-253-3139, 888-253-3139, 888-253-3139 is the InfoWars Store hotline. 888-253-3139 is the InfoWars Store hotline. 888-253-3139 is the InfoWars Store. Frank! 888-253-3139 is the InfoWars Store hotline. 888-253-3139 is the InfoWars Store. InfoWarsStore.com is simply the best. InfoWarsStore.com beats out all the rest. 888-253-3139, 888-253-3139, 888-253-3139 is the InfoWars Store hotline. 888-253-3139, 888-253-3139, 888-253-3139. That's InfoWarsStore.com.